PhysicsWallah has launched PW School of Startups to train, mentor, and fund budding entrepreneurs across India. They've set up a 100 crore rupee fund to support at least 100 startups over the next 5 years, and this initiative aims to create an affordable incubator and accelerator-like environment for young students who want to dive into entrepreneurship. They're offering 3 programs, ranging from just 5 days to 5 months, tailored to different skill levels and interests, but that's not all, because back in 2022, PhysicsWallah was just one of the few edtech startups in the country that was profitable. They raised $100 million in their first and only VC funding round, turning them into a unicorn, but a lot has happened since then. They've made 11 acquisitions, spent or allocated 700 crore rupees on new products in FY24, and reports suggest that they've even slipped into losses in FY24. And one of the reasons for this is that PhysicsWallah is expanding pretty rapidly at this point. They have their own school now, over 50 offline learning centers, and a tech skilling and job discovery platform. They've used their funding to branch out into all things edtech, something we've seen Byju's and Unacademy attempt before. However, Byju's is now on the brink of collapse, and Unacademy is reportedly considering a merger. PhysicsWallah, now in the red, has probably used up most of its funding on these ambitious ventures, and it's likely that they're going to be raising $150 million to keep these initiatives going. And according to multiple reports, they might be close to securing this round. But here's the billion-dollar question. Can PhysicsWallah succeed where Byju's and Unacademy have failed? Or are they making the same mistakes as their competitors by over-diversifying? All right, next up in the news, there is quite a bit of action in the funding space right now. I just talked about PhysicsWallah being set to raise $150 million, but Zepto is also eyeing $310 million. And that's not all, because Accel is reportedly closing in on a $600 million India-focused fund by the end of 2024. This fund could even exceed $700 million, making it Accel's largest ever India-focused fund. And why is that significant? Because these could be early signs that India's funding winter, which started in 2022, might be coming to an end. However, even if that is the case, it could take months or even years before we start seeing the impact on the ground, as the fund is still in the process of being closed. Looking at the data from January to July of 2024, Indian startups raised $6.3 billion compared to $4.4 billion in the same period in 2023. And while that's still far from the peaks of 2021, this upward trend is a positive sign, hinting towards the end of this long funding winter. All right, next up in the news, according to this ET report, Amazon India is gearing up to launch its own quick commerce venture in early 2025. This news comes right after Flipkart launched its own new quick delivery service, Flipkart Minutes, and the recent resignation of Amazon India's head, Manish Tiwari. Now, details are still emerging here, but it looks like Amazon is planning on leveraging its existing partnership with More Stores, which currently handles Amazon Pantry and fresh orders for next day delivery. They want to use this partnership with More to bring down that delivery time to just 20 to 30 minutes, transforming their next day delivery service into a quick commerce powerhouse. And this is a different approach compared to Blinkit, Zepto, and Swiggy Instamart, which rely on their own network of dark stores for rapid deliveries. But Amazon isn't the only giant diving into quick commerce. Tata-owned BigBasket is making a significant pivot as well. Originally, BigBasket started offering quick grocery deliveries through BB Now in 2022, and fast forward just 2.5 years, and quick deliveries now account for over 50% of their sales. Recognizing this shift in consumer preference, BigBasket is transitioning to becoming a fully fledged quick commerce platform. And currently, BB Now carries around 10,000 SKUs, but they have plans to expand that to 25,000 to 30,000 SKUs. And it's not just groceries. They're looking to include large appliances and mobile phones in their quick delivery offerings as well, making them a one-stop shop for just about anything that you need. BigBasket plans to use Tata's retail outlets Chroma and Click to serve these orders. All right, next up in the news, PhonePe has achieved profitability at the adjusted PAT level, that's profit after tax, bringing in 197 crore rupees on a revenue of 5,064 crore rupees in FY24. Now, just to clarify here, this profit figure doesn't include expenses related to ESOPs. So how do they manage to become profitable on this level? Well, it comes down to their focus on diversification and cost efficiency. PhonePe isn't just about UPI payments anymore. They've expanded into multiple businesses, including the ONDC-based e-commerce app Pinco, the trading platform Share Market, and even insurance. These ventures have finally started to pay off. However, despite this profitability, PhonePe's CEO has made it clear that they won't be going public anytime soon. The reason? Well, there's still uncertainty around the UPI market share regulations imposed by the MPCI. For those who don't know, know, PhonePe currently holds a dominant 48% share of the UPI market, but according to NPCI's 2020 guidelines, third-party app providers like PhonePe are capped at a 30% market share, and they have until December of 2024 to comply. All right, next up in the news, Indian crypto exchange CoinSwitch is suing WazirX. Why? Well, it all started when $230 million worth of crypto assets were stolen from WazirX's wallets, and among those affected were CoinSwitch, which has 81 crore rupees worth of crypto assets stuck on WazirX's platform. And after a month of trying to recover their assets with no success, CoinSwitch decided to sue WazirX. This lawsuit comes at a time when WazirX has filed for a moratorium in the Singapore High Court, and this moratorium is a legal move to protect WazirX from creditor actions for the time being while they work on restructuring. All right, now let's move into the funding news segment for today's video. This week, Indian startups raised $89 million, which is a lot less than last week and below the average trend line for the fourth consecutive week. Now, let's look at some of the companies that have raised funds this week. The first one I want to talk about is Chennai-based Yubi, a platform that connects banks and NBFCs directly with companies that are seeking debt to run their business operations, and they've raised $30 million. After that, we have Mumbai-based post-sale service provider Servify, which lets you access brand authorized service centers for your electronic products, and they've raised $10 million in their Series D round. Following that, we have Mumbai-based personal care and beauty brand Pilgrim, which raised $9 million in their Series B round. Next, we have Noida-based PropTech startup HouseEasy, which lets you buy and sell houses online, and they've raised $7 million in their Series A round. And then after that, we have Bengaluru-based conversational intelligence platform Convin, which uses generative AI to listen and analyze calls and chats at a call center to give insights on how to improve customer interactions, and they've raised $6.5 million in their Series A round. Following this, we have Dehradun-based Shark Tank India featured health tech startup Sunfox Technologies, which makes portable ECG devices called Spandan, and they've raised $1.79 million in their pre-Series A round. And then finally, we have Bengaluru-based biotech startup Cambrian Bioworks, and they use microorganisms to create environmentally sustainable materials, and they've raised $1.45 million in their seed round. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. Thanks so much for sticking with me in this episode, this audio-only episode. I wasn't on camera because I am currently recovering from food poisoning. And if my delivery was a little bit fatigued this week, apologies for that. But again, thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video, and I will catch you in the next one.